Alright, so when I'm UV mapping something like this, the first thing that I want to do is get a little more organized, okay? And what that basically means is it's a good idea for me to pull out the old hypershade here. I separated it so I have more space. And I want to make two materials as stand-ins so I can help organize it before I even put in the material. So I know that based off of the reference image of this chair that I was working off of, that I need to break it up based off of the leather and the fabric. And I'm not going to make, I didn't make the chair 100% accurate. I used it as a reference. And that reference, just to go off of, was this. So you could see how it's like it has the fabric on the inside. I left out these guys. Has the pillows and then the leather going around it. So this is my inspiration for that. I'm not doing an exact model, but I'm doing one inspired by it that comes relatively close to it, and that's the whole idea. So to separate that, if my model is all together, it's a good idea to separate them. So then I have them as separate pieces, and then I can kind of pull them apart a little bit and work on one thing at a time. So here's my base, and as you see with the original, the base is actually two different sections. It just does not want to work right. Stop that. Two different sections like that. Okay. So we need to basically get a dark brown material on where there's leather and a light brown material on where there's this fabric. I'll just make two materials real quick. So create material. I'm going to use a blend. And there it is there. And here it is here. And I'm going to rename that. I'm going to call this one New Leather. Okay. And there it is there. And I will make it a brownish color, darker brown. Right there. I'm going to make another one. Create. Come on, there we are. Create new material. I'm going to use a Lambert for this one because it's cloth. There it is there, and I'm going to rename that one. Call it new fabric. And I'm going to give this one the color that I think it should be. Okay. So there's my new fabric there. There's my new leather there. I usually will just put one on the surface, a whole surface, and then choose the surface faces that I want to apply the second one to. So if I just drop the leather, that's the leather on it. Oops. Okay. And now I have to select the faces that the fabric would go to. Excluding the, that there's going to be a pillow here that has the fabric. So we'll go from there. So I know I'm going to go into mode 5 for a second. 4, 5, there we are. Okay, so okay, and I need to select all these faces here. So there's a few ways of doing this. I can. Last thing I don't want to go like, oh, click and then shift, so shift, shift, shift. That's going to take forever. If I use tab left mouse, I can actually just go across and paint in what I want, but that also takes quite a while. So sometimes it's better to kind of separate these. So if I look at this model, and I know where the separation is going to be, in other words, like the edge, right? So I know I'm going to have to UV map this whole thing. We see a dark line there, but we're going to have to do some major UV mapping on this, right? So if I go in and I actually tell it that we're going to UV map this with a generic UV map. I'm just going to go in and I'm just going to planar map the whole thing. And now it's all in this one piece, and a totally weirded out piece at that, right? That's all the UVs. So let me just show you that again. If I UV map it, that's this one here. And this is my projection, and I'm just going to project it. Click on the little T here, click on the circle, and then rotate this. Oh, you know what? I know what's going on. Edit, delete by type, history. Now let's do it. Oh, that's so much better. There we are. And that brings up a good point. Sometimes when you actually do something, your history is going to get really, really chunky. So that's basically what it is every time you do something in Maya, it slows it down. I duplicated it, transferred old UVs, and it got really, really like chug, chug, chug. So it was acting really slow, and that's usually a hit. So going in and saying edit, delete by type history when you have an object selected in object mode really helps out a lot. Now I've got this is going to make it a lot easier. So what I want to do is I want to cut, just like on that cereal box, the edge. And I know that of where the leather is and where the fabric is. And I know that that's an edge right in here. Okay. So if I go in, let me just press F, zoom out. Oh my, what are you doing so down, so low in there? Huh, it's weird. Shouldn't be that low, but okay, it's weird. In any hoot, let's go in. And let's say it's going to be right about here. And you see that is going all the way around it like that. I just double clicked it. So in here, and it loops on itself, which is perfect. This is why you keep working in quads. So what I can do now, with that edge selected, I can cut the UVs along that edge or separate them with this icon. Boom. And now, if I select a UV, control right mouse to shell, I can separate them like this. And what that means is that when you cut it along the edge, you can actually break it apart so that now, even though it's all part of the same, you see this thick line going around. That means this whole section here, if I select the faces of just that, see, there's my fabric part. So just so you can kind of get what I'm talking about real quick, if I double click this guy here, which is this circle, and I cut it, then that means that this inner circle now I could actually move away. Okay. So just so you can kind of get the idea of that. Why that becomes important is because now, if I select the faces of just the part that has the fabric, and then say new fabric, right click, assign material to selection. Now I've got it. And it looks really clean. I could just leave it like this if I don't want to do a texture. I'm not going to get on you about that at this stage. If you want to actually apply a texture, we have our materials in place, and then I would also assign to these guys, right click, assign existing material, and find new fabric. Boom. So now it's on all of them. And I could just do that, and that would look good, and I could tweak it out. The only thing I'd remember is that with this blend, you want to make sure to tell it not to be super reflective, which by default it will be. But that would be that. Now, is it UV map? No, not necessarily, because now if I have my placeholders in, I've separated it, and I start to put my texture in. So here's my new leather. Click on this guy. Oops, under color, click. And I want to put a file in into where that leather is. And here we go. So this guy right here. Press 6 to view your textures. And you'll see it looks great on the top, but it's stretched on the sides. So we'd have to fix that. And that's this guy here. The biggest way of thinking about this is separating this so it's not all one piece overlapping. The reason we see stretching is because all of these UVs are on top of each other. So if this texture were like a projected light, a picture of a light being projected down, we're seeing the image here. But if there was a red dot, then we're seeing that red dot project in a straight line down. It's almost, imagine if you were looking, if you've ever looked at a projector in a place where there's a lot of smoke or fog, and then you see the light go straight through. So we've assigned the two materials, we've broken it up, and the next one we're going to start to really UV map this.